Cat Casual and the Holy Midnight with Bonnie Prince Billy guesting on that track. And we have Cat Casual sitting across from me here in the WXOX studios here on Driftless Afternoon Turmoil. And I did want to bring up the you have another version of the Cat Casual project called Cat Casual and the Ordinary Bones.
Yes.
And that still happens too.
Yes, it does. It's
what's the difference there?
It arrived out of necessity because we were a combination of scheduling. It's hard at pre-middle age to get like-minded folks into a room with some regularity and to your satisfaction. But also, I think the impetus primarily was being asked to do the Before I Die festival, in which we were going to play inside a cave.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do it, and I knew the Holy Midnight just wasn't appropriate. It was just too loud. It would not sound good, and we would just empty it too and kind of defeat the purpose of, the real purpose of it. And I think on top of that, the Holy Midnight just couldn't do it for various reasons. So I called together. I'd been playing with Josh Johnson, some improvised music and such, and I think his upright bass in particular was energizing.
Good guy.
Excellent guy.
Likes puns a lot.
Well, who doesn't?
Yes,
I don't trust anybody who doesn't like a good pun. And then Rob Ross, I'd been looking for a reason to play with him for a while, and he brought in Mike Grady, who's a super talent as well, and we had such a good time at the Before I Die thing. And it turns out that just that band is more, we can travel better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both for scheduling reasons and space-wise in the grocery getter that I drive and stuff. So
are you planning on doing a tour?
Yeah, I hope to, and probably early June. That's just now starting to put the feelers out for that. Mm-hmm. It's also around the time that I turned 40, and I figure it's the best gift to myself that I could possibly give is to, lose a bunch of money on the road.
Yeah. It's like a vacation, but also a working vacation.
Yeah. You feel like you're doing something good.
Yeah.
And you really, I'm just looking out for number one in that capacity anyway. So
You've been on tour several times, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Phantom Family Halo did quite a bit of touring. Toured with Shilpa Ray, who was...
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And it was probably 1 year of the best time I ever had in music outside of my own, my own stuff. Tyrone had one tour, and that was a blast, and that was many years ago. Body Hammer would do sporadic sort of little tours.
Mm-hmm.
Phantom Family Halo was what it was. The Acid Mother Simple tour was great, but it never felt like mine.
Yeah.
And too many perimeters and no disrespect to anybody there. It's just that's my comfort areas, I think. And then there was Shilpa Ray, that it was just a dream. I eventually quit, so there's a whole other area there about it. But Nick Cave putting out that record and meeting that crew was, amazing. And they were so supportive and cool. And the people I met through her and stuff was some of the most enduring friends from my whole New York experience.
I'm wondering what the difference between going on tour now as opposed to 10 years ago is. I have not been traveling the country.
It comes up a lot because to think that you would just have an atlas, which we did with like Body Hammer, and some vague maps and ideas and how to get there, and always somehow managed to do it.
Yeah.
I think by the time Tyrone came around, I was printing out on like MapQuest or something, and even that was pretty dodgy.
Well, even with the current,
Oh, you mean just the market in general?
And the climate, the political climate, and just different places.
Completely unpredictable.
Yeah.
You
have no idea what you're going to run into.
Yeah.
Right now.
At the same time, there's wonderful surprises in that, too. I think in my cynicism, it's too easy to just beat up the whole thing. It's like, it used to be so much cooler and stuff. And man, there's a lot of things that's really cool about it now, and really it's things like internet radio and digital music and how much you can do independently is really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not all grim.
Yeah.
And I've never had a bad time on tour, but that's me.
How did you get hooked up with Dave and Gubby? Have you all known each other for a long time?
No, not really.
I was wondering if, because I've known Dave for several years, and then I saw he was putting your all's tape out, and I was just curious how that came together.
I had been historically spoiled in this town by Noise Pollution Records,
Mm-hmm.
which I moved here, and as we talked about earlier, I wasn't really relating to a lot of what I was seeing and hearing. And then I stumbled into those like South End cats that were, kind of from the same sort of background and the same kind of weirdos, which didn't mean I liked everything musically, but I could at least get it.
Yeah.
And so they put out music by Body Hammer, Tyrone, and Lucky Pineapple. And, it wasn't that I expected them to. But anyway, in my absence, they went ahead and ceased operations. So I came back and, wondered how I should approach this. And I just really liked the job that Dave and Gubby was doing.
Yeah.
And a great roster of, equally eclectic sounds.
It goes all over the place.
Exactly. And I'm always a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's okay to be the odd man out on a label, I guess, but in the end, it's cooler in my eyes to be a part of something where, it's just this tapestry of creativity that kind of occupies a wide spectrum.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm very proud to be on that roster. So.
Earlier we were talking about the Monkees, and
we do that a lot.
Yeah, and but you mentioned that you felt like this record had a lot of '60s stuff smeared all over it. You feel like that with a lot of your songwriting happening right now? I know I've seen you like we were talking about, like was it an early version of the Ordinary Bones or early version of Holy Midnight that covered Circle Sky?
That would have been our very first show as a Holy Midnight, and that would have been Chris Martin on drums and my brother David kind of on bass.
Yeah. And
that was the first song we played
at
the first show, Circle Sky.
I was there to see it.
You were.
I made a show.
And unfortunately, there's a video of it too. It's not the kind of thing I should sing without warming up. But
it's a tough song.
I had to do it. It's one of my favorites. But
it's a good
60s music, it's there's something about it's just the sounds I like. To me, I'm not interested in like thick, heavy guitar. Guitar, by and large, as it's used in a lot of bands in our sort of sphere of interest, kind of bores me.
Yeah.
So I want it to be. I just like it as a tool. I don't consider myself much of a guitar player. I grew up as a bass, or when I came into music, it was bass.
Oh, really?
So that's still my kind of where I write the most.
Huh.
And I don't really have a guitar ego at all and stuff. So I like twangy sounds. It was surf music and jazz guitar. That's the stuff that got me interested. And then on those Monkees records, there's, the Wrecking Crew, just some of the greatest guitar players that's ever been in the American songbook. Glenn Campbell and, I'll keep naming names. I think a lot of people are wonderfully orientated on that now because of the documentary. It was on Netflix, or made it to Netflix.
Is it new?
It's a few years old.
That.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's called The Wrecking Crew. It was on Netflix because I didn't get to see it.
Oh, about the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, there's all of that. But, I think surf music probably more. I played Man or Astroman on my show earlier, and they were and it wasn't just because of surf music. It was what they did with that.
Yeah.
And
that was that was a turning point for me. It was Man or Astroman at some point.
Because they don't get enough credit for how much territory was covered and how much it advanced and still does. I mean, when you go to see them, it's still one of the best live shows you can see when they do it. And such great ideas. They're brilliant people too. And
it just reminds me of. Do you remember us running into each other in Chicago for the Touch and Go 25th anniversary?
I remember being there. I remember.
Here's the thing that happened. So I had a camera with a giant lens on it, and I'd taken a bus there. I didn't have a car or any place to store this thing, and I walked up to the gate, and they said, you can't bring that giant camera in here. You can bring small cameras, but that's considered a professional camera, so you're not allowed to bring that in. I had no idea what to do. I was literally looking for like a bush to hide a camera, like a very expensive camera.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of was walking around despondently down the sidewalk, like I have no idea what to do. I don't know what to do with this camera. I was supposed to meet Steven Shoemaker around that area someplace, but I think he was already inside. I couldn't figure out what was happening. And you come walking up the sidewalk, and I think you had a car there, and you let me put my camera in your car. You don't remember this?
There's a lot of things I don't remember. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. You know, it's.
Yeah. I think that
I don't doubt this happened.
I think it happened.
I thought you were going to say Manor Ashman saved the day, which they could do.
But I think they played on the second day, and I think I was there to see them, and they completely deconstructed.
He handed out drums,
and I got a piece of the drum, and I still have that somewhere in a box at home.
Bird stuff. I think it's okay. Brian Teasley, very good man, has a great venue in Birmingham, Alabama, that everyone should go to, called the Saturn.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were huge to me, and part of that was their generosity and kindness too, because there was no reason to be as kind to me as they were when I was an annoying fanboy at, probably saw them 20 times and videotaped half of them. That can't be pleasant to be around. But but Nels Cline, that's the other guitarist, where I kind of hated the idea of being a guitarist, and then I was a fan, saw him play with Mike Watt and something, being in front of him and having a jazz master and watching him cover everything from Television to Captain Beefheart to Bikini Kill to Madonna and stuff like that. It's like I might give the guitar a go and take it seriously, and I've been stuck ever since.
If you hate the other two strings, you can always just play 4 of them.
I think I still do. I break the others.
Well, do you all have a show coming up?
No. Ordinary Bones are doing some things. We're playing Nashville Friday at the East Room.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, a lot of things just suddenly popped up in the past week that I haven't been able to address as we sort of reassess. Really, the focus was this release show, and now let's see how it rolls out for spring and summer.
I mean, it's not a bad goal to be shut down by the cops at every show, so...
How do you top it? It's just...
I'm going to go ahead and roll another track from the Cat Casual release. And thanks for coming down. Or, well, you were already here. But
I went to the other room and had a good cry, used the bathroom, and then I came back.
Appreciate you sticking around.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
And everybody, here is some more Cat Casual and the Holy Midnight. Wait, you wanted to talk. What was the deal with Francesca, the tune we were about to roll?
Oh, you said you were going to play Francesca. And
Francesca.
Something to talk about there, because it is the only. That's a song that is definitely written by the whole band. The only song, and it's the record closer. It's about Francesca Woodman, but it kind of how it came together was through jamming and cool parts and stuff, which I love to do. It's just it's hard to get together enough to do that with a lot of consistency.
Yeah.
But yeah, really proud of the track. And man, talking about Brian Four, I mean, this is a very Brian Four sort of thing. I mean, you'll hear it right out the gate with that piano and stuff. So
cool.
My Louisville music hero there, really.
Awesome. Well, here we go. This is Cat Casual and the Holy Midnight with Francesca. Thank you, Cat Casual.
Thanks, Brian.